try to mask it with a smile, a transient disguise. You can't.
Okay, so depression. It's something not a lot of people know about, but I've been depressed for over 9 years, and I cut myself, not because cutting is good, but because when you're depressed, you know what it's like, and you walk around and think, and you know what, nothing's all right, but sometimes people are like, cutting and suicide, that's stupid, but they don't understand that what you're going through is something harder than what they think, and it sucks. They make your life seem like hell, and it sucks. I don't know. I hate people that talk like that because they don't know what you've been through or what you're going through right now or what's going to happen later. They're like, why do you cut? That's not okay. But when you're someone like me, it's an exception because nothing's okay going around your world. And suicide's not a joke, and cutting is not a joke. And
according to a 2010 study done by CDC, suicide is the second leading cause of death for people ages 10 to 24 and the third leading cause of death for ages 12 to 18. I don't think people die from suicide, they die from sadness.
So, I came to the realization that I have anxiety. And when I came to this realization, I was in the middle of class. And I was sitting there at a desk behind a computer screen, and my body began to go through this whole thing of trembling. And I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't do anything except I wanted to cry. And this was about anything that I could do. So I stood up and I told the teacher that I needed a moment to get out. And he gave me this look like, why? And so basically after that, I'm always shaking. There's not a moment in my life where I'm not shaking. I'm always anxious. And I don't know if that has to do with the fact that people freak me out. Because when I'm around a big crowd or people are looking at me, I just freak out. I can't be in the front of the room anymore because I feel like people are talking about me. When I hear giggles, I think people are laughing at me. And we all have that friend that we can trust. But I guess in reality, it's hard to say that I trust anyone. And, you know that feeling that you're not wanted, or that maybe everything would be better if you were gone, because I guess you feel like you're alone? Well, I like to say that you're not, but I can't say something that's a lie.
The Jason Foundation states that more teenagers and young adults die from suicide than from cancer, heart disease, AIDS, birth defects, strokes, pneumonia, influenza, and chronic lung disease, combined. Atelophobia, the fear of imperfection, the fear of never being good enough. Everyone has scars, but not all of us wear them on the outside. Anonymous.
I'm making this video for myself to look back on, and I just need to get these things out because there aren't many people I can tell. I can't deal with holding them in anymore. I have to tell somebody. I have to tell somebody, even if it's a camera. It feels like torture sometimes to know that there are two sides of me. One that people see and that I'm supposed to be, and then one who I really am. I know that everyone deals with this feeling. Everyone has some similar burden, but I'm not that strong. I think sometimes when I cut, that doing so shaves away who I'm not supposed to be. I sculpt myself into a better person. It's kind of selfish to be thinking like this. There are plenty of people who've got it worse and who made it through successfully. But I don't know who I am or who I should be or who I want to be anymore. And it's really confusing and painful. So that really small things set emotional triggers off. And I hate it. I hate it. And I'm done pretending I am not strong.
Warning signs that a teen may be suicidal: change in eating and or sleeping habits, withdrawing from family and friends, substance abuse, dropping grades, complaining more of boredom and physical pain, responds differently to praise, and starts to neglect hygiene and stops caring about physical appearance. A teen will not show all of these warning signs, and some teens won't show any. There was a moment in my life when I really wanted to kill myself, and there was another one moment when I was close to doing that. But even in my most jaded times, I had some hope. Gerard Way. Before I became a teacher, I was always told that suicidal thoughts and depression were commonplace amongst teens, but I never truly realized how much until I experienced them firsthand. If I had any advice to offer to someone who's struggling, it would be this: talk to someone. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to express how you're feeling if you're really struggling. There's always somebody out there to help you, or who is willing to help, I promise. Sometimes the first step to recovery is asking for help.
People don't understand what it's like. What it's like to go to school and act like nothing's wrong. To go to school and sit in the back of the class. To pretend you like the people you sit with at lunch. Pretend you don't mind everything they say. But then when you get home, you hear it all again. From your mother, telling you how much of a disappointment you are. How you won't be missed. But I get it. I've started drinking, like, a lot. It numbs me, you know? And when my dad gets home from a long day at work and he's mad, it's like when I'm drunk, he can't hurt me. I feel invincible. I mean, the bruises still show, and when I'm sober, I feel everything. Everything my parents ever told me. I feel it. I mean, I know it's true. I know I won't be missed. So, I might as well go.
Warning signs that a teen may be planning to commit suicide soon. Says things like, I wish I were dead, or I want to kill myself. Hints to it by saying things such as, I want you to know this in case something happens to me, or I won't trouble you anymore. Create suicide notes, becomes extremely cheerful after a period of depression, expresses strange or unsettling thoughts, and starts to get rid of possessions. The so-called psychotically depressed person who tries to kill herself doesn't do so out of, quote, hopelessness or any abstract conviction that life's assets and debits do not square. And surely not because death seems suddenly appealing. The person in whom its invisible agony reaches a certain unendurable level will kill herself in the same way a trapped person will eventually jump from a window of a burning high-rise. Make no mistake about people who leap from burning windows. Their terror of falling from a great height is still just as great as it would be for you or me standing speculatively at the same window, just checking out the view, i.e., the fear of falling remains a constant. The variable here is the other terror, the fire's flames. When the flames get close enough, falling to death becomes the slightly less terrible of two terrors. It's not desiring the fall, it's the terror of the flames. And yet nobody down on the sidewalk, looking up and yelling, "Don't," and "Hang on," can understand the jump. Not really. You'd have to have personally been trapped in felt flames to really understand a terror way beyond falling. David Foster Wallace.
I'm making this just because, I guess I need to vent. But, every morning I wake up and I pretend that I'm okay and that nothing happened. But in reality, I have to carefully choose everything I put on, because I feel like if I wore a different shirt, it wouldn't have happened, or if I wore sweatpants instead of skinny jeans, I'd be fine. It's hard to go through life pretending you're not scared because nobody knows what happened to you, and you think that anybody who you told would just call you a liar because it's so much later. I don't know, it just feels like if I do anything, no one will believe me, so I don't really think there's a point in telling anybody, because why should I? I'm just gonna be called a liar, or they're just gonna do it too. I don't know. It's just
According
hard.
to the CDC, males are more likely to die from suicide than females. However, females are more likely to attempt suicide. This year I wished I was dead, and they all clapped without knowing. Anonymous.
Well, I haven't eaten in about 2 days. Anything at all, actually. Is that a bad thing? I mean, I don't really see it as a bad thing, because it's doing something good for me, I guess you could say, in a way, but I mean, I'm doing it because I miss how skinny I was a couple of years ago. I mean, I know I'm a guy, but does that mean I can't be attractive too? I mean, like, does that mean I can't worry about my body and, worry about how much weight I'm getting, or, gaining or losing or anything like that? Does that mean I can't do that? I mean, just because I'm a guy, I mean, I want to be attractive too. I mean, the last time I ate without making myself sick was a few months ago, and I don't think I'm really losing weight. I mean, it's kind of just staying the same, and it's not really getting better. I mean, no one really noticed how much I've changed. I mean, it's not surprising. I don't really have any friends. I mean, no one talks to me. No one, everyone hates me. I feel like everyone agrees that I would be better off dead. I mean, I go to bed every night, and I hope not to wake up. I just hate it. I don't think anyone would really care. You're sure they may cry, and do whatever they think people would want them to do, but they wouldn't really care. They may say they do, but just because they say it doesn't make it true. I know that me not eating is partly because I want to be skinny and look better, but I also know that if I don't eat, I'll die. Yeah, it'll be slow, but that'll give me time to get rid of everything and to push people away so that I can't hurt anybody anymore. I'm tired of hurting people. Even whenever I open my mouth, just one word hurts someone in some way. Not that I would, but just in case I'm wrong. I hope I'm not.
Self-harm does not always mean that someone is suicidal, but it can be a sign that someone may be. Cutting oneself is not the only form of self-harm. Someone who self-harms can be burning themselves, cutting themselves, snapping a rubber band against their skin, tearing their hair out, hitting themselves, biting themselves, scratching themselves, and purposely being reckless, knowing that they could get hurt. It's all for attention, right? She cuts for attention, doesn't she? She thinks about suicide every day. She starves herself. She cries herself to sleep. She's broken. But it's all for attention, right? Anonymous.
Okay, so, hi guys. I've told a couple of people about my story and the depression that I'm going through, and now I'm taking therapy. It's really hard.
Group counseling can be a safer environment for people who aren't comfortable with one-on-one sessions. Here in the bathroom with me are razor blades. Here's iodine to drink. Here are sleeping pills to swallow. You have a choice. Live or die. Every breath is a choice. Every minute is a choice. To be or not to be. Every time you don't throw yourself down the stairs, that's a choice. Every time you don't crash your car, you re-enlist. Chuck Palahniuk.
It's been a while. I had an anxiety attack recently in front of my stepmom. She kind of freaked out. It's weird. I didn't know she cared so much. But she said she worries about me and doesn't want me to be like this. And she said she'll get me help, so I'll be going to a group therapy tomorrow. I don't know how well it'll go, but I hope it helps.
If your friend is too afraid to tell an adult themselves, you should tell an adult that you know they trust. Don't tell a teacher that they would not feel comfortable talking to, or they will be mad at you. Do get them help, but make sure it is someone they trust, not just you.
Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You are so beautiful, and so is life. Someone will miss you. Stay. Paige Carter.
You're quiet, but your thoughts are so loud. Trying to get up, and someone else pushes you right back down. No one understands, no one ever could. Only see the bad when there's so much good. You hide away underneath your hood. You're so misunderstood. Here's to the kids who lock themselves in their rooms and think they're not good enough. Here's to the kids who don't know what they're supposed to do and get so close to giving up. They need to know they're worth it. No one's perfect, you know it's true. Well, here's to the kids and the things that they go through. Hey, September, here's to you.
Tell your friends that they need to snap out of it or leave them alone. They need you to help them. If they can't tell an adult alone, go with them. But in the end, one needs more courage to live than to kill himself. Albert Camus.
I don't think I can handle it anymore. My dad, he went too far this time. I'm sick of waking up in a puddle of blood, and I'm sick of being told I'm worthless. I'm just done. Why should I stay when no one wants me? What is the purpose of staying when all I do is mess something up? If all I can do is mess up, there's no point. I don't have any reason to exist. No one will care, so I'm just done. I'm sorry for the trouble I've caused. I won't anymore. I'm sorry.
The National Suicide Prevention Line is 1-800-273-8255. If you or your friend is considering suicide and don't feel comfortable talking to anyone else, call this number. It is their job to listen to you and not judge you or hurt you. They know what to do. I tell people I'm tired, but in fact I'm depressed. I tell people I'll be fine tomorrow, but I know tomorrow I'll be worse. I tell people lies every day, and I know I won't be able to stop it myself. Anonymous.
I opened up to someone today about what happened, and she told my mom. My mom didn't do anything I thought she would. She didn't freak out, call me a liar, or tell me I wanted attention. She just told me that I needed help. So she said she's going to put me into group therapy tomorrow. I don't know how that'll work, but all I know is it's better than the way it is, than how I feel right now.
Suicide every 100 minutes committed by someone ages 15 through 24. There comes a time when you look into the mirror and you realize that what you see is all that you will ever be, and then you accept it, or you kill yourself, or you stop looking in mirrors. Tennessee Williams.
Someone noticed today about me not eating. I didn't even know who she was, but apparently she found out that, or at least assumed that I wasn't eating. But she asked why I haven't, she randomly came up and asked why I haven't been eating and why I've been so sad suddenly. And all I could do was just stand there in shock. I mean, I didn't really have anything to say because I didn't think, anybody would. I didn't think anybody noticed. But she did get me to eat today. She got me to get that far. And I didn't even get sick. I thought I was, I thought I wouldn't have been able to hold it down, but I guess I was able to. But she got me to eat today, and she got me to talk to the counselor about it. And I don't really like talking to counselors. I don't really trust them. They make me nervous, and I just don't trust them. I didn't tell her everything, but I told her enough. And she called my mom, later today and talked to her about what was going on, and now I'm going into a group therapy session tomorrow. I don't know how that's gonna be. I really don't want to do it, but I guess I have to.
1 in 5 teens seriously consider suicide, according to the CDC. You don't ever have to feel guilty about sharing your feelings. It isn't desperate or pathetic or weak. It's self-care, and there's nothing shameful about taking care of yourself by unloading some of the pain you carry. Your feelings are important, and they matter. You matter. And if you're hurting, you're allowed to reach out. You're allowed to be honest and use your voice. You're allowed to take up space and talk about what you're feeling. You deserve to make self-care a priority. Always. Anonymous.
As a high school principal, I have seen firsthand the seriousness and the dangers regarding teen suicide. If you or somebody you know are feeling depressed, unhappy, unwanted, please reach out and get help. Please talk to an adult, talk to a teacher, talk to a parent, somebody in the community that you know. Reach out and get help. It may save a life. It may even save your life.
Some of us cut. Some of us used to cut. We are not proud of what we did, but we are not ashamed of what we did. Each of our scars has its own story, and the fact that the wounds heal reminds us that it gets better.
it with a smile, a transient disguise. You can't control it, the suffering invades. So you lock yourself away, find comfort in a blade. Oh, I can see past the scars, yeah, I can see past that far. Here's to the kids who lock themselves in their room.